We're live. Any questions that you guys have? I am live, last minute live, just to answer some questions. A lot of people have been asking me questions. I haven't been on in a while, so decided to go live for you guys. Tons of questions about experience and various other things that we can address as far as experience or residential, how to open up a facility, whether it's adult residential, group home, residential care facility for the elderly, or short-term residential therapeutic program. So I wanted to go live just because I haven't been on for a little bit. Just want to be able to answer some of you guys' questions that come about. So if you guys have questions, you can ask. As I get some work done, I figure I could answer some questions. If you have any questions, go ahead and just type it in the chat and I'll answer your questions. For you guys that are asking for when our next classes are, you can visit our website, SoCalTrainingTeam.com. Am I familiar with small family homes? Yep, I am. I've opened up quite a few small family homes. What's your question? And then I can help you answer it. Just let me know if you had a particular question in regards to small family homes. Pretty much the same process as setting up any other residential facility, to be honest with you. The only difference is with the small family home, you're supposed to live in the property. That's the main difference. No, you can't live. You're not supposed to live off site. With a small family home, you're supposed to live on site. I know there are people out there that run small family homes that live off site, but they're not. If you want to know the proper way to do it, you need to live on site. There are you will run into people that will say they run small family homes and they don't live there. So, at this point in my life, I don't like playing with fire unnecessarily. So I wouldn't play with it. You might as well, if you instead of doing a small family home, just do whatever type of facility you want to open, whether it's adult or children, just open up that type of home. Then you don't have to worry about ducking, diving, and hiding every time somebody knocks on the door. For an STRTP, what's a good amount to estimate for the monthly operating? Well, you're going to need about minimum 100,000 for an STRTP. So take $100,000, divide that by 3. Your operations is about 33,000, say 34,000 a month. It's really $33,333. That's on the low end. Budgets for STRTPs, they usually if you're talking about when you're filling out the application, they want you to have 3 times the amount of operating expense in an account. You need about 100 to 120,000 for an STRTP. Does the small family home have to be a nonprofit? No, it doesn't have to be a nonprofit. No, I can't buy you a dirt bike. Frank, I'm an OG San Diego fan. Chanel, no, we don't offer weekend classes, not at this point. We did offer them for a little bit, but the classes we wouldn't get enough people for the classes for that 40-hour class. We need a certain amount of people to register for that class just to make it worth the instructor's time and just the agency's time in general. So no, we don't offer the 40-hour on the weekend, only during the weekdays. Let my hair grow. Low maintenance. Frank, we do adult residential. I'm a consultant, number one, consultant for adult residential facilities, elderly facilities, any type of assisted living facilities. I help people open up facilities. I run facilities, own, operate, that type stuff. And then I also do all the trainings for adult residential facilities, elderly facilities, group homes for children. So anything in the social service field, that's what this channel is for. Um, my specialty is that, and that's all I talk about on this channel is business, basically, how to set up residential facilities. So if you want to get in the business of operating, owning a resident, any type of residential facility, that's what I specialize in. Brian, are you familiar with the process of nurse owners billing for nursing services to the clients? Is this something your company can help set up? If you're talking about if you're talking about billing Medicare, Medi-Cal, something like a home health care, is that what you're talking about? How long does it usually take STRTPs to fill beds once licensed? Once you're licensed, Chanel, it probably takes maybe a couple months. It could be days or weeks, but typically I like to say it's a couple months for you to fill your beds for your short-term residential therapeutic program. Just to set up your STRTP is going to take you anywhere from 12 to 18 months, probably a little bit more, just to set up the facility. So you're looking at maybe 2.5 years, 3 years before you really start turning a profit. Yeah, I set up some homes in it. Do I know anyone in the Bakersfield area? Yes, I do. Do I set up homes in the Bakersfield area? Yep, sure do. Tammy, why are you asking if I know anybody in the Bakersfield area? Are you trying to set up something there? For those of you looking for classes, the initial certification classes, visit our website, socaltrainingteam.com, for a schedule of classes, and then also learn a little bit more about us as well. Some of the things that we do as far as initial certification, continuing education, we have e-learning, we have business, a lot of different business things going on, and then also if you want to sit with me in person or if you want to Zoom and do something more individualized, you can also book a consultation with me on our website as well. Tammy, I set up about 3 homes in Bakersfield. So there's three. I set up 3 adult residential facilities in Bakersfield. So I'm familiar with the process up there. Yolanda, yeah, I'm actually approved to teach the group home initial certification. I just haven't put it on our calendar yet. I'm gonna put it up on. I'm gonna start a class in September for that. for group home initial certification. So if you need it sooner than that, I can't help you. If September is okay, it will be on the schedule in September for group home initial. Bright, yes, but the services will be for clients in my family home. I'm considering the medically fragile population, but it's also looking. So it just for Bright, it just depends on where you're going to take your clients from. If you take your clients from the regional center, then you can't do any billing. If you take them from another type of agency, you probably can do some billing as long as you have qualified staff. So you have to know what direction you're trying to head in, and then I can kind of help you from there. Or you can send me an email with more specifics to what you're trying to do, and then I can see if I can help you. My email is lsingleton, LSINGLETON at SoCalTrainingTeam.com. How do we get contact information for the regional center orientations? You just depends on your regional center, but it's usually on their website. If it's not on their website, you have to call them for regional center orientations. But remember, you have to qualify. Anyone can't just go take regional center orientations. You have to qualify for it. You have to meet a certain criteria as far as experience in order to take a regional center orientation. So keep that in mind. Good questions, though. For adult residential facilities, for those of you that are looking for the initial 35-hour certification, we have our next class is July 22nd to the 26th. And for the schedule, you can go to our website, SoCalTrainingTeam.com. Orange County Regional. Sorry, something happened. Orange County Regional Center. You got to reach out. You reach out to them, and it might be on their website. Paul. Orange County might be on their website. If it's not on their website, they can send you something. And the as far as getting something in writing about the qualification is you can go through um it's in the regulations. It's not necessarily something that they will give you, but it's a regulation. It's a Title 7. If you Google DDS Title 17, you need to go through that regulation. I just can't think of off the top of my head where it's at. Otherwise, I would tell you. But if you send me an email, I can send you the exact regulation that tells you what experience you need. And it depends on the level of care you're trying to provide. So, as far as experience, it depends on the level. The higher the level, the more experience. The lower the level, the lower experience. So if you're going to do a level 1 through 3, you need 6 months experience. If you're going to do a level 4A through I, you need 12 months experience in the level of facility, the level of care that you want to provide. I just know that off the top of my head because I've been in the business so long. So that's the standard. I always say if you're gonna open up your own facility, work in the higher level facilities. Work in a level 4I. That way you can open up anything. You can still open up a level 3, but you qualified for more opportunities if your experience is in a level 4I. Because eventually you'll want to grow little by little. Any questions for the new people coming on? Any questions you guys have? Go ahead and ask your questions in regards to adult residential facilities, elderly facilities, short-term residential therapeutic programs, group homes, etc. Tammy, watch one of your videos. Um, what type of facility are you trying to open, Tammy? And which video did you watch? I don't remember saying you can't own the home. On the contrary, you want to own the home if you can, but you can own the home, especially for ARF. You can own the home and then you can rent it to your corporation. Oh no, so Tammy, for that you have to the license is going to be under the LLC, just your facility license, not the home. The home can be in your own name, doesn't matter. What I was saying was you have to establish some type of business, whether it's an LLC, a C corp, an S corp, for your license process. It provides protection to you. And then after your when you set it up, the license is in the LLC name or corporation name, not necessarily the house. For children per room, group home, you can do two per room. Abachi, I haven't had a chance to look at your plan. Bright, for stipulations as far as what you can charge for rent. The only stipulations are if you open a short-term residential therapeutic program. They're the only ones that make you cap your rent. Adult residential facilities, assisted living facilities, they don't. There's no cap. Hey Abachi, I just pulled up your email. Is there any reason why you did it in Adobe Excel? Why didn't you do it in Word? Just asking a question. Are you restricted on how many facilities you can open? No, there's no restriction on how many facilities you can open. I have clients that have 15, 16 facilities. Would I recommend LA County or Riverside County for group homes? Both. Either or. There's a shortage in both counties for kids' homes. You thought you would have to place numbers? Numbers and where? Mm-mm. No, I would do it. I would have done this in Word. I think you're working too hard. Because Abachi, would you turn it in this way? Did you plan on turning it in, your program in this way, or were you gonna do this in Word? I kind of see what you did. You just basically took the licensing application and then you put it in an Excel. You put it in an Excel spreadsheet. That's what it looks like you did. But yeah, do this in Word. And then a lot of it that you fill out, to be honest with you, like I'm looking at different sections you filled out for the group home. You could have did all that right there on their sheet. You don't have to recreate the wheel. That's what I'm saying. I think you worked a little bit too hard on this program. Bright, you became confused with the sample menus for a small family home application. The serving size is based on food. It's based on serving size. You need to go to the general regulations, Bright, and look at the serving sizes. I think it's like 80075 or something like that. The section. Let me see. I'll tell you what the section is. With the menus. The menus. It's food and let me see. I'm trying to remember the code. Menus. Um, Serving size. It's general regulation, so it's gonna be 800. I'll just give you the. So what you do is you just Google Title 22 regulations, and then you follow that serving size. Nah, I don't know exactly where it's at right now, but just Google Title 22 serving size, and it'll give you that. I mean, you send me an email. I know you're busy. How long does it take to get a return? My job doesn't offer the other training like I think you said, and then, right before how can I get that training? What training? What training? Tell me what you're trying to do right now, Tammy, and I'll answer the question. What training are you trying to get? The mechanic? Nope. You don't have to wait 2 years. You don't have to wait an entire year right in between. You can go back to back on for the DSP 1 and 2. And then Tammy, just type what you're trying to do. What are you trying to? What you got to refresh my memory. I get about maybe 300 emails a day, 300, 350 emails a day. So I try to address as many as I can. Sometimes it's just, I just over time, I just got to address them, to be honest with you guys. Right now, I have 290 emails, and that's just in regards to residential facilities, all kinds. And besides the consultation portion, I'm also getting emails in regards to training and all that too. So, you guys have to forgive me if I don't respond to your emails right away because I'm flooded with emails, to be honest with you. And believe it or not, I have help responding to my emails and going through my emails, and it's still almost feel like I need one person for that. Let's see what you sent me, Tammy. Yeah, you did send me an email. I'm pulling up. You want to be an administrator? I'm pulling up your emails right now. Uh, So you want to be an administrator? You can take our class, Tammy. You can check the schedule at SoCalTrainingTeam.com. The question is, let me read. My job doesn't offer that. It looks like you work at a facility. You're working at a facility, Tammy? Yes or no? Yeah, Bright. If you're a foster parent and you become licensed for a small family home, yeah, it changes your license. So you would have to determine what you're going to do with the existing kids that you have. Yes. Oh, Tammy, you have an administrator license. All right. So it looks like, what are you trying to figure out now? What are you trying to figure out today, Tammy? Right now, what are you trying to figure out? Because I was reading your email. Looks like you want to get in contact with Kern Regional Center. You don't necessarily have to get in contact with them. You can look at their website and see the process for Kern. What are you trying to find out? What type of services they're trying to provide? Let me see. I'm going through your email. Do I have to have locked cabinets when licensing comes out? Yes, you do. Do I need an umbrella for the backyard if I have a patio? Yes, you do. You need an umbrella. And I'm answering your questions, Tammy, live. Do you need an umbrella for the backyard if I have a patio? Yep, you need an umbrella and you need a table and you need at least, I'm going to say, 6 chairs. Do you have anyone in Bakersfield with a 4i home? Yeah, I actually do, but she's not very friendly. What's the price of for a program design? It depends on what level you're trying to. You want to open up a level 4i home program design. Depends on how much work you want me to do. So I need to have a little bit more detail. Tammy, do you have the experience? You have 12 months experience? You probably do. Say yes or no. Let's see. I'm going to tell you what you need to do right now. So yes, you got the experience. You got your DSP year 1 and year 2? Okay. So you don't have it or you have it? You just made it this month? You just finished the class this month? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Year 1? Okay, so you need to do year 2. You have your CPI, Crisis Prevention Institute, the certification? Yes or no? Oh, CPI is what you need. Okay, yep, you gotta have that if you're gonna open up. So it sounds like this is where you're at. Sounds like you have the experience. Sounds like you have your administrative certificate, your DSP 1. You don't have your CPI. You probably have your first aid CPR. Um, how do I go about getting that if my job doesn't offer it? What level are you working at? If you're working at a level 4, A through I, they should have some type of restraint certification. It's either CPI or PROACT. The only other way to get it is directly through CPI, which is expensive. It's probably about $700 for the class. And the other way is to find an agency that has a CPI instructor, and they charge a little cheaper, probably about 200 or so. For the layout of the actual house that I'm using to get licensed, it has a sliding door in the bedroom and front door entrance. Will that work for egress for licensing? If the only You don't need a sliding glass door in a bedroom. I mean, if you have it, it's fine. But typically, you have a sliding glass door in a bedroom for a facility is when you want to do non-ambulatory clients. Other than that, it has no relevance, to be honest with you. For Tammy, Miss Tammy, you can. I'm just looking at your site up there and see what you guys. I'm pretty sure you just submit a letter of intent for a level. If you want to do a level 4F, yep, you should be CPI or PROAC certified working in a level 4F. I don't know why your employer hasn't certified you. You have to be certified, or they just put a certificate in your file. Do you need more than one entrance and exit? No, you just need a front door and a back door at a minimum. Good questions though, guys. Very good questions. I'm looking at Kern Regional Center right now, and I'm just looking for the request for proposals. They do have a request out. But for Tammy, you still have to be certified. You have to be cert when you work in a level 4A through high, you have to have a restraint certification. All the staff have it. They probably just put a restraint certification on file for you. That's probably what they did, because when you guys get audited, they ask for it. And if you guys are passing audits and they're not saying that you're missing it, you have one. They just didn't tell you about it. Yes, for real. I'm sure you have one. They put one on your file. That's what they did. Not trying to start any trouble or anything, but that's probably what they did, because you must have one. It looks like Tammy. It looks like you guys they're looking for like level 4 eyes up there. I'm just on their website. It looks like they're looking for level 4 eyes. I know your experience is in a level 4G, 4F, 4F. You probably can do a 4F up there, but you got to package yourself. You got to finish packaging yourself. You're not done yet. You need your DSP2. You need your restraint certification. And who's sending me emails? You need your restraint certification. You need your first aid CPR. You already got your administrator certificate, and that's all you need. And then you just need to. I would just send Kern Regional Center a letter of intent. That's all I would send them, because it looks like they're looking for facilities in that area. It's not a ton of them. They just don't want to pay for it. Yeah, you're right about that. They sure don't. But I bet you got one. I bet you got one in that file. But you're gonna need to somehow get that certificate on your own. You got to find somebody in that area up that way to do it. I could have helped you, but I don't. My staff doesn't teach it anymore, and I don't teach it anymore. So you got to find somebody to do it. But it looks like they do accept letter of intents, though. I would just send them a letter of intent, but when you're ready. Doesn't look like you're ready. Not yet, at least. Did anybody else send me any emails that I have not responded to in regards to opening an adult residential facility, group home, elderly facility, or short-term residential therapeutic programs? Sorry for not responding to every email, but like I said, I get so many. I can't possibly respond to all of them. But any questions you guys have for now, I decided to do some consultations today while I had some time while I was here trying to get some work done. So that's why I'm on. I know everyone will send me messages after this and say, when are you going to come on again? But I am here now answering your questions. Administrator. East Bay Regional Center, they want full package before applying for a little. Yeah, some regional centers do. They want you to submit a complete packet before you apply. And East Bay Regional Center is one of them. But they tell you the criteria, mechanic. They tell you what the criteria is for the packet, and you just need to follow that packet. I can help you guys come up with or write your request for proposals and all that. I do. I'm not going to guarantee that you win them, but I write quite a few of them. I win quite a few of them as well. But yeah, that is correct. Mechanic. Do you recommend a 1 or 2-story home? 1 story. I'm going to always say 1 story. 1-story home. If you have an option of setting up any type of facility, whether it's a group home, adult residential facility, elderly facility, or short-term residential therapeutic program, I'm going to always say 1-story home. Good question, though. Very good question. Keep your questions coming. Don't let my pause in conversation stop you guys from asking questions. Any question you have, setting up residential facilities, elderly facilities, group homes, short-term residential therapeutic programs. Been doing this for 24 years now, guys. 24 years strong, probably a little bit longer. Setting up facilities, running facilities, writing proposals, writing program designs, getting houses licensed. This is all I do for a living. I don't do anything else but this. I mean, well, I got other little ventures, but uh, the meat of my life is residential facilities, setting them up and helping people manage them, run them. So since I do this all the time, I know the ins and outs of the game basically because I do this all the time. Out of the 20, there's 21 regional centers in California. I've worked with at least 15 of them. There's a few I haven't worked with, but they're all very similar. I'm looking at mechanic. I'm looking at your regional center, East Bay. Then if they have any requests for proposals, I'm on their website just to let you know. Trying to see what they have going on. Needed. They don't look like they got a whole lot going on. But just keep in mind, just because they don't have it on their website doesn't mean that they don't need a service. Sometimes I apply for services and they don't necessarily have it listed, but they have a couple things listed. Their site is a little confusing, but request for proposals. They're looking for a crisis home for children. No, that's archive. Sorry. Let me see what's newer. Request for proposals, current proposals. Do you recommend working with the regional center or the county? Region. Oh, regional center pays you more. That's why I work with the regional center. To be blunt, they're both difficult to work with. So if I'm basing it off of who's more difficult to work with, they're both difficult to work with. I'm gonna go with the regional center though because it pays me more money. With the county, you're going to deal with the same problem, and you're gonna have the same issues, I should say, but you're gonna make less money. Now, the county may place clients faster than the regional center. The regional center sometimes is slow placing clients. It's a slow process. But if you're gonna do an STRTP, you don't have a choice who you work with. You got to work with the county. You're either working with probation or children family services. With the regional center, when you work with the regional center, you're only working with the regional center. So it's almost like pick your poison. What is the lesser of two evils? And I just lean towards the let me see who's gonna pay me the most to provide a great service. Don't get me wrong, guys. I can still I provide an awesome service, but I need the money to do it. So as much as you may have a big heart to help and will save one person at a time, yeah, that's all good. We're gonna do that, but I need the money to be able to do that. Are the qualifications the same for both? Qualifications for what? What qualifications are you talking about? County versus no, they're different. County 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 is going to have their own set of experience requirements, and then regional center is going to have their own set. Sometimes the county's experience is less than or not as stringent as the regional center. Regional center is one of the most stringent places to qualify for because they actually verify your experience. They're not going to just take your resume and say, "Oh, okay, your resume says you meet the criteria." They're gonna they're gonna vet your qualifications and your experience to make sure it is directly related. Where the county, they may just take your resume at face value and say, "Oh, he looks like he or she qualifies." Good question, though. Should your ARF be an LLC? Um, as far as that, that's preference, guys. I don't really tell people what type of corporation to set up because I don't know your entire financial situation. I don't know if you could already be making millions of dollars a year versus making $40,000 a year. Your setup is going to be based on what you already have going on. So it's kind of hard for me to say set up an LLC or set up a C corp or set up an S corp or set up a nonprofit or set up a partnership. That's a tough question to answer for anybody because everybody's situation is different. But I always say set up some type of corporation to protect yourself. Yes. As far as should it be an LLC? I mean, it can be an LLC if that's financially good for you, but I don't know what that would be. But set up some type of corporation. So the answer is that set up some type of corporation. I just don't know what kind works for you. And the reason why I say that, just to give you a little bit more clarification, if I tell you to set up an LLC and you make over $500,000 a year, that may not be the best setup for you. Or what if you have partners? Or there's a lot of nuances in there that I can't account for. And I sure don't want you coming back and saying Leonardo told me to set up this type of corporation, and it's not the kind I need. 14th. Good questions, though, guys. Very good questions. Very good questions. On the website for mechanic, if you're still here on your website, on the regional center for East Bay, they actually tell you the guides to become a vendor on their website. So just to let you know, they even give you the experience required and all that. So for an administrator, they give you that. If you want to open up level 2 services, you need um, 6 months experience. If you want to open up level 3 services, you need 9 months experience. If you want to open up level 4 services, you need 12 months experience. So just to let you know, they do list it there. So they give you some pretty good detail. And then for you to send a letter of intent, mechanic, they actually tell you what you need to do here too. And it looks like you just have to submit a letter of intent. Doesn't even look like for what regional center are you mechanic? You're East Bay, right? Yeah, you said East Bay. For East Bay, it doesn't even look like you need to go into all that. They even tell you where to send the letter. Um, yeah, you submit a letter of intent, and then after that, if you submit their letter of intent with the qualifications, they tell you what to do. Attend the orientation. You get a program design checklist. You get a vendor packet. So they look pretty straightforward. Level four. You need to have DSP 1 and 2. You need 1 and 2 mechanic. For your regional center mechanic, the East Bay, you need DSP 1 and 2 for any level you open on. According to their website, it says you need DSP 1 and 2 for all levels if you want to open up your own facility. So get your 1 and 2. Did I miss anything in there? Let me see. Hold on. The trucking real estate broker. Does your community care license expand counties or nope? It's facility specific. It's only good for that one home. Level 4 just need DSP. I answered that already. I just want to say thank you for giving us time answering our questions. This is my nope, no problem at all, guys. I appreciate you guys coming on and taking your time. I know I'm very sporadic, but sometimes sporadic is good. Keeps you lively. I try to set some times to come on here. It's just too hard because I'm always working on a project. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm working on a project while I'm talking to you guys, a project that I need to get done today. So I figured while I was sitting here and working, that's why I'm a little distracted, but I'm still answering your questions. After completing DSP 1, you'll book a consult. Yep. Look forward to seeing you on a consult. No problem. No problem at all. Get all your questions answered. I'll be on for another 10 minutes or so. So if you guys got any questions as people come and go, I'll answer your questions. Just to let you guys know, I'll probably be doing some more detailed trainings. I just have to figure out what I'm gonna do with it as far as if I'm gonna just offer them on my YouTube for just for free, or if I'm gonna put them on the website and sell because it does take me time to develop the training. So I have to determine how I'm gonna do that. But I have some good stuff coming to make it a little bit easier for you guys. some good training stuff, how to write your own program design, how to fill out the licensing application, that type of stuff. And I'll probably do it for all entities, group homes, residential care facilities, adult residentials, etc. Mechanic passed your administrator cert on the first try with your core. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hopefully, the course that you took with us made it easy for you to pass the exam the first time. Believe it or not trying to brag, guys, but a lot of people pass when they take our course. They usually pass on the first time because that's what we teach you how to pass the test. We know you want to run a business, but you have to be able to pass the test in order to move on. So hopefully that class was informative and helped you guys out a lot, or helped you out a lot, mechanic. I know some. We get quite a few people taking our class that say they passed on the first time. Our pass rate, last time I checked, our pass rate was over. It's over 90%. I don't know the exact percentage. Probably was 94%, 95% pass rate. That's pretty darn good, if I say so myself. That means we kind of know what we're doing. A little bit. Yes, a little bit. A lot of my instructors have been in this business a long time as well. They're either they're current administrators, they own their own businesses. So the instructors that you guys that are teaching the classes, they're not just book smart people. They actually run their own facilities. So they know what's going on, and they know how to set up facilities because they are actively in the game. I may be the only instructor that I don't actively run day-to-day facilities at this point. I did it for so long. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not running day to day. I have arrived to the next level, so I don't run day to day. I don't worry about opening facilities anymore. Not at this point. Not for myself. Any questions you guys have? I think I told you about the classes that are coming up that we have coming up. Let me just remind you guys, just in case. For people like mechanic, I know you already have your administrative certificate. I think a couple other people do. Remember, you have to renew your certificate every 2 years, guys. So make sure you come back and see us, SoCalTrainingTeam.com, for continuing education, because we do offer the classes every single month. 20 hours of it is online at your own pace, and then the other 20 is live, which meets the licensing requirements. We are a certified vendor by the state of California, community care licensing. So all our courses are approved for renewal. Is there a capacity or is it room dependent? Capacity as far as what? If you're doing children, you can probably do 2 to a room. If you're doing adults, you typically is 1 to a room. If you're doing the regional center, if you're getting clients from anybody else besides the regional center, you can do 2 to a room. As far as capacity for the entire home, I would do no more than 6. If you do over 6, then it's commercial, and you have to be zoned as commercial. You gotta get all these different inspections and requirements. So, if the question is capacity for the home, you can't do no more. I wouldn't do no more than 6. If that answers your question, hopefully. Very good question, though. Ask your questions. Any questions you guys have? I'll probably be on for another few minutes, just seeing if anybody else comes on and needs their questions answered. For those of you that want to open up a short-term residential therapeutic program, I just want to read you their I want to read you their requirements for an administrator. That's why The I say a short-term residential therapeutic program is a little tougher to open, because just to be an administrator, just to if you want to be an administrator for a short-term residential therapeutic program, which is a children's program that takes clients from children and family services or probation, the first you have to meet one of these qualifications. So listen to this: you have to meet one of these qualifications to be an administrator. You have to have a master's degree and 2 years experience, and that experience has to be in a group home or short-term residential therapeutic program. This the second way to meet it is you have to have a bachelor's degree and 3 years experience. And then the third way is you have to have an AA and 5 years experience. So just to qualify to be your own administrator, you can meet it 3 ways basically. Well, there's 4 ways. The fourth way is you have to be certified as a group home administrator, meaning you've been working in a group home already, and so they'll grandfather you in basically. So for most of us, that's not the case. For most people out there, that's not the case. So you guys are going to meet it basically one of 3 ways. You got a master's degree and 2 years experience, a bachelor's degree and 3 years experience, or you have a AA degree and 5 years experience. If you don't have any of those, you don't qualify to be a short-term residential therapeutic administrator. Just to let you know. A lot of people ask me that question about that, and I say, "Hey, do you qualify?" It's the first question I ask before I work on any project for you guys. Before I we talk, discuss what is going to cost you for me to work with you. The first thing I always want to know from anybody I work with before we even get tied up in the process of contracts, I want to know what your experience is. Because if you don't have the experience, then you're wasting both our times. Not trying to be funny, or I just want to be direct. It's a waste of your time to sit with me, to be honest with you, if you don't have the experience. So um not that I don't, I love making your money, but I want to make it the right way. I want you to come sit with me because I actually can help you. I mean, now, if you just want to sit with me and pick my brain and you want to pay for the consult, that's great. But if you're coming in, I have clients that come in, they schedule consults with me, they sit with me, and they feel like they're ready to go, and they're not. I pop that bubble, and they're very disappointed that they're not ready to go because they felt like they were ready to go. So keep that in mind. I'd rather you guys shoot me an email and ask about your experience opposed to you spending all that money up front and they're not even ready to go. You may be 6 months to a year out. That's where most people fall in. Most people, a lot of different things eliminate them from opening facilities. And another thing that eliminates, so that's one thing. Experience eliminates a lot of people from developing facilities. You have to have experience. The second thing that eliminates people is the operating expense. So you have to have 3 times operation expense sitting in the bank. So it depends on the type of facility. Some facilities require more, some facilities require a little less. But nonetheless, you need to have some operations. So operations at a minimum, you're probably going to show 40,000, 45, 50,000. I'm going to say 50,000. That's minimum that you have to show in the bank. And it has to be in the corporation, and it has to be in a corporate, some type of corporation bank account. If you're opening up an STRTP, you got to show more money than that. It's probably closer to 100,000, if not a little bit more than 100 in the bank. So that's the second thing that eliminates people. So really, is there a third thing? No, there's not really a third thing. Those are the top two. Your experience eliminates you, or not having capital eliminates you. So those are the two things that'll either put you in the game or put a hold on your game from moving forward. So for those of you that are trying to develop facilities, start saving your money, or you may already have it, but if you don't have the experience, if some people have the money and they don't have the experience, so keep all that in mind as you want to set up your facilities. It's a good business though, guys. I've run a lot of facilities. It's definitely put me in a different position. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You're going to work hard. You're going to work long days. You're going to work 7 days a week. So hopefully you come up with some type of exit plan for it to be able to get out the game at some point, because it is a lot of work and it does take a toll on you. I don't want to paint the pretty picture of the business like, oh yeah, you just make a lot of money and you get to go sit in Hawaii and all. No, you don't. It's a lot of work. A lot of work. It's not easy. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes you hate it. But it's like with any business. Some businesses are harder than others. I'm going to say this might be one of the most difficult businesses to be in, to be honest with you. Not to discourage you guys, but it might be one of the most difficult businesses to be in because it's a lot of work. So if you're afraid of a lot of work, the business might not be for you. If you're okay with the work, this business is for you. Right now, I'm working on an adult residential facility program design, guys. It's for the licensing portion. So there's two different portions. There's two different program designs. There's a licensing program design that goes to community care licensing. That's what license the home. And then there's a regional center program design, or whomever you're going to get your clients from. So there's two different program designs you have to write. The licensing one is not that long. For an adult residential facility, that is. For a group home, it's pretty long. But the one for the adult residential, it's not that long. It's probably about 40 pages. But the one for a group home is much longer. That one, I think I write it at about 100 pages or so. So it all depends on that. But if you guys need any help or any type of consulting as far as application paperwork for community care licensing or regional center, you guys can send me an email at lsingleton@socaltrainingteam.com. LSINGLETON at socaltrainingteam.com. And I can help you. Of course, I'm not going to help you for free, but I can help you. And no, you guys can't take me to lunch. I don't want to go to lunch. A lot of people want to take me to lunch and say, I want to take you to lunch so I can pick your brain. No, thank you. Pay for the consult fee, and then you can pick my brain. Pricing for which items? For licensing? For a licensing application is about 2,500. Regional center depends on the level of care, ranges from $3,000 to $5,000 for the program. Guaranteed, by the way. Guaranteed to pass. Unlimited revisions. This year, what are we in? June? This year so far? This year I've opened, I think, about 6 facilities this year. Maybe a little bit more. I stopped counting that. I used to count facilities, how many I would open a year, but I stopped counting. So I don't count anymore. certificate. When you guys open your facilities, I want you guys to, when you guys decide to open your facilities, make sure you guys get some type of financial software or bookkeeper in place, somebody to track your income. Don't do like me and try to do it yourself to try to save $2. It's not worth it because when you get audited and your financials aren't in order, you end up paying so much money. So don't be cheap on the front end. You guys have to get some type of bookkeeping, get you QuickBooks online, get you some type of accounting software where you can track your income, your expenses, your profit, your loss. You guys, I can't emphasize. I'm trying to get everybody on that path because there are so many people in this business that they don't track their income. They don't know how much they're making. They don't know how much they're spending. They're just living life. And then when the labor board or an audit comes, you're in trouble. All you have is bank statements. And that's no way to run a business. So get your stuff set up right. Get yourself an accountant or a bookkeeper. I don't think they're one and the same. So bookkeepers keep track of all your expenses, your income and expenses. A bookkeeper does that, and then an accountant is more of a CPA, where they actually give you more financial advice. I have both. I have a bookkeeper, somebody that just enters all my transactions, and then I have a CPA that looks at the overall structure. They handle audits, they handle anything that's dealing with financials, they handle all that for me. I know not everybody's going to be at that point right away, but if I could get there earlier than I did, I would have been in much better shape because they literally track all your expenses. They tell you where you make the most money, where you're losing money. It's a wonderful thing to have. Not cheap, but it's great to have. I mean, I don't think it's that bad for the business for business. I think it's an expense that it's almost like you can't afford not to have it. To be honest with you. All right, guys. So I think I've been on long enough. I've been on watching you lie. No, Zupor. No, you can't take me to lunch. No, I'm not doing lunch. No lunches, no dinners, no any of that. Pay for the consult. Everybody, everybody wants to take me to lunch every single week, guys. Everybody wants to go to lunch. Let's go to lunch. Let's go to lunch. Let's go to lunch. No, pay for a consult. Consult consultation is a lunch for me. That is lunch for me. No lunch, no dinner, no brunch, none of that. I don't have the time. I'm not trying to be funny, guys, but I don't have the time. I don't have the time, and if you really want to get value out of the conversation, book a consult because then we'll be focused on the task of what you want to do, not just you sitting there for not for us going out to lunch for 2 hours and you picking my brain and you're not remembering half the information I'm giving you anyway. So anyway, I'm about to get off. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.